Hey, Susie, you could feel alive coming, huh? Yeah, I am so disgusted. I am absolutely just disgusted. Not only by the farce that's going on right now, but the people commenting are just so full of shit. They're so full of shit. And they're so full of hate. It's hilarious. They can't even discuss a word without their despicable hatred shining through. I'm really impressed by this one person who appears on the scene as if she's a lawyer, right? And when she's asked what her credentials are, she says, well, my credentials don't really matter because I know people who actually do have credentials, right? Well, she's making promises that she's doing legal work. Well, she's presenting herself as if she does have some sort of legal knowledge. And now she's a mediator. Oh, for Pete's sake. You know how for quite a while everybody was claiming that Christopher Watt's wife was a nurse? And then there were a lot of people in the discussions who were claiming they were nurses too, right? Everybody's a nurse, it seems like, in this case. Well, guess what? To people who actually are nurses, it's offensive. And then along came a few crazies who started calling themselves advocates. Well, to those of us who actually are advocates, it is offensive. And now when she's up there saying she's a mediator, and then you have all the Yahoo followers going, oh, she's a mediator. No, she isn't. And what's going on over there is the furthest thing away from mediation. Smiley says she did not say that. She said she had a law. Who said she had a law degree? Who said that? Are you talking about the person who said that within 2 months, she was filing a 35C and she was going to be sitting right at the table? That person, and then the 2 months came and went and nothing happened. The same person who, right from the very beginning, has been involved with all the bullshit. Who are you talking about, Smiley? I don't even know who that is. I don't care what it is that she's doing over there, but it is not mediation. And then you have people commenting, well, when I got divorced, the lawyer acted the same way. Oh, it's ridiculous. All of it is so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Smiley says, well, you know nothing. Right, Smiley. That's why you ran right over to our chat to post your shit because you know that Miss Mensa knows nothing, idiot. Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure that's Cindy Watts, right? Yeah, we're the uneducated ones. It is nothing but hate, and it's so disgusting to see the different channel names and to put them all together and to say, wow, here's the lineup right here. Everybody keep the bullshit going so that nobody takes any time at all to discuss how Bella and Cece were treated. I think it's interesting too when people say, everybody be respectful in the chat, and then they aren't. And that's okay as long as people say, everybody be respectful. Hypocrisy is a good word for it, Susie. It's the same thing with the people who actually do have lupus or who actually do have fibro or any of the other illnesses or, I'm sorry, health challenges. It is absolutely disgusting for people who actually do suffer from those illnesses and diseases to even hear any of this crap that's being said. One lie after another. One lie after another. Oh, she's a mediator. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why don't people just hold up a sign that says I'm really ignorant because I have no clue what a mediator even is? Because that's what they're doing by what they're doing right now. Sandy says it's true. The way Bella and Celeste were treated is hardly ever spoken about. It's only on this channel. It seems nobody else cares at all about Bella and Cece. I wonder what they're going to start calling themselves tomorrow. Exactly, Robin. Do you need a haircut? Well, Susie, they always claim that they want to get along, but they don't. Because if they were getting along, then they'd have to actually start discussing the case. I wish somebody had the guts to say, where's the 35C that you promised within 2 months? Oh, that was a really sad one, Robin. I think she said something like, you can have a little bit of one or something if you can pronounce it right. Way to go, Supermom. Dolo is super excited. Yeah, the 2 months thing was total BS. And the one where she said that she stopped sucking her thumb and Bella kind of looked at her like, really? I think what really was concerning in that live chat too was just how immature they were. Absolutely immature. I thought it was interesting too that Dave popped right up immediately and used my first name. You know, the Dave who we've been trying to be supportive of as he's supposedly suffering because he's getting picked on. A little passive aggressive going on there, huh? He wants to whine and bitch and complain that people are talking about some crime he committed, and then he pops right up. Now, how the hell would Dave even know my name? Think about it. Organized, recruited, hired. They have a little plan, they have their scripts, they have a little mission. Yeah, I'm thinking. Sandy says, I believe NC showed your name on one of her lives. Seriously? How would you do that accidentally, Sandy? I don't think she does anything accidentally. So that's an interesting little twist. That's one way to do it, Natasha. You know, don't take the extra second to block it out. And Natasha wasn't even around when the shit started. She was a latecomer to the case. I don't think she stopped wearing her Thrive patch at all when she was pregnant. Weren't they doubling up there toward the end? Or did she just have Christopher Watts doubling up? I still say, in my opinion, that tells us the time of death within 20 minutes of when she woke up. Did the grandparents wear patches? As far as I know, Ronnie and Cindy bought the crap but didn't use it. Oh, for Pete's sake, I just checked to see what videos are up. AD talks. I'm singled out to be stalked. Finally, they show their true colors. Right, AD, as if you're not involved right from the start with all the bullshit attacks. Wow. The channel creator who said that she would, I think she said that she wishes Ronnie would beat the shit out of Cindy, has 37,000 subs now. Isn't that a really sad statement about our world? According to her own words, there were only 20 minutes of the day that she didn't have a patch on. And according to the autopsy, she didn't have a patch on. Well, I think it's a hoot that AD would ever try to pretend that he's actually being stalked or harassed. I agree, Susie. I do believe that when he left for work that everybody was alive and well. Robin says AD is being stalked by Harry's first wife. Well, let's try to guess what the next profession will be that they try to, I don't know, copy. It could be. We were talking the other night about how maybe she was just somehow taking part in I would say, a delusion, that she was some sort of an influencer. Pride or honesty? That statement just makes no sense. Seriously. Your comment makes no sense. Have you missed out on the interviews with the previous girlfriends? Have you not noticed the information provided by his group of friends about how Shannon Watts was offensive to all of his friends, insulting their clothes and their hair and their homes and their dishes and their food? And then he would show up the next day and apologize for how she acted. And he would say, well, she was just having a bad day. Why do you think the scar wasn't listed on the autopsy? Your comment makes no sense. I've spoken with one of his ex-girlfriends. She was rather normal. I agree with you, Susie. I don't think she had any surgery either. I think she spent a little time in the hospital, and I think she may have had something going on with an injury of some sort. The dishonesty that goes on with this case is just all the way through, all across. I thought the neck brace video was pretty telling, actually. And I think she actually did have a friend stay with her, but I don't think it had to do with any surgery. Oh, great. Now they're using two profiles to talk to themselves. Sandy, I don't know if you noticed that neck brace video, but she whips her arms right up in the air to put her hair up. Like I said, I think that video was pretty telling. So the question is, if there's nothing to hide, then why are there so many lies? She did have a lot of movement, and even when she sat down at the computer, well, I think she was just talking to her phone, right? Or maybe she sat down to a computer, I'm not sure. But even then, she was moving her neck and her shoulders and her head in a way that is not really consistent with somebody who actually had surgery. Yes, Robin, good point. We've been told that we'll never know the truth because they don't tell people like us. So if we're going to be told that we will never know the truth, then that means that what has been said so far is not the truth.
Hey Brenda, it's Fred. I actually just commented on your profile and you responded to me. Wrong answers can be the scumbag inspectors are people like putting them on fake profiles to run around social media and post bullshit. First of all, bitch, I'm calling you right now. My real name is Fred. I ain't trying behind no motherfucking thing. And you're the pussy ass who won't answer the phone. Also, you're the pussy ass who fucking posts online about dead people.
End of message delete. Press 7. Save. Skipping end of messages.
There's a dedicated group of people who are just going out there and constantly, reporting and trying to get back at these people.
friends. You wish you knew what I know. But you know what? You're never gonna know. You're never gonna get it from Will County. You're never gonna get it from Frederick. You're never gonna get it nowhere. Because you know why? They don't tell people like you.
So there we have it. We're never going to know the truth because they don't tell people like us. I love you, Happy Angie. Excuse me? Yes, Robin. Bye-bye. So if we're never going to know the truth because they don't tell people like us, then what that tells me is what we're being told is not the truth. So I guess we know part of the truth, and that is that we're being lied to. To which I think we should ask, why? What is being hidden? Does it have something to do with that hospital in Indiana in the spring of 2016? Does it have something to do with how many times the girls were taken to the emergency room and to the specialists and to the allergists and to the chiropractor and to the dentist at, what was it, 14 months old? Does it have anything to do with the impossibility that one person could possibly have the health challenges that we're told that Christopher Watt's wife had? Does it have anything to do with the fact that we're told that they had to have people move into the house because of her high-risk pregnancy, except she wasn't pregnant? Are we being lied to about all of those things for any particular reason? Are we being lied to about when the divorce was actually first discussed and planned on? Are the lies maybe about whether or not the video that was seen showed anything at all? Are we being lied to maybe about what Christopher Watts even said in his confession? I've seen a lot of videos of police interrogations. I've never seen one where the suspect is seated in such a way that you can't see his face. Fertility issues? Fertility issues? Seriously? She got pregnant, what was it, 4 months after the wedding? And then when that baby was 10 months old, she got pregnant again. I'm thinking that's not a person with any fertility issues at all. I think this is a good comment, Truth Soup, especially with the name that you chose to use. Jingle, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think the way they chose those of us they were going to target before many of us had ever even heard of this case, I think would I I don't know. I guess it would support your opinion. Exactly, Summer. Carried out like trash. And then they were walking. Okay, so which is it? But wait a minute. We'll never know the truth because they don't tell people like us. Good point, Happy. Money, money, money. And think about that live chat that we just looked at. Take a look at the hatred. Take a look at the hatred. Well, there's a panel discussion going on about everybody getting along, and the hatred just keeps going and going and going. I want to start off by giving a shout out to the Shiners, and I want to encourage them instead of just showing up on our channel to post your hateful and vile threats that you know are going to end up in the trash bin. So why do you keep doing it? Really? But instead of doing that, instead of spending your time that way, why don't you brave up and actually join the discussion? If you don't like my opinion, if you don't like some of these photos, if you don't like our discussion on this channel, then you realize that there's something noticeably absent from the discussion, right? What is noticeably absent are people who are actually discussing why they disagree with our opinions. From day one, the Shiners have refused to take part in any discussion on this case. I think it's because they don't even know the details of the case. I think all they know is that if they can bash Miss Mensa, then it'll get them some new views and some new subs and maybe a few dollars. How sad is that they're using the deaths of 2 innocent children to try to make some quick cash. So here's my shout out for the Shiners. Please research the case and then join the discussion and tell us why you disagree with our opinions. And we'll be happy to discuss the case with you. You'll have to clean up your language, of course, and leave the threats at the door and actually discuss the case. So give it a try. You might like it. And it might actually add to your credibility if we can take part in a discussion with you instead of just watching all of your vile attacks against us all over social media. So just a thought, I think you should probably pick your 2 or 3 most intelligent people in the group and, make a few new fake profiles and all, of course, and join in. Because so far we haven't seen anybody offering any support at all for their claims when they try to bash us for discussing the case. So I hope at least one of them takes us up on this offer, because seriously, if they are so opposed to our opinions, then what's the problem? Join in. Let's discuss it. But my hunch is they won't. My hunch is they'll just continue with their threatening, vile comments, because it's easier that way. And remember, their goal isn't about learning about this case. It seems their goal is actually trying to make a few dollars and probably to see their reflection and to say that there's some sort of star. So let's get started. Okay, January, what does that say? January 16, 2015. Wore her out this morning between the gym, the doctor, and the mall. Covered her eyes like a face mask. I don't think that this little baby put her headband down over her face. I truly don't. I don't think that's normal. I don't think that's true. I think her mother put that over her face, and I think it's one of many disturbing photos where her mother thought it was so funny or so cute to have her baby's faces covered. June 15 of 2018. Thank goodness for this overpriced vitamin-laced candy bar in my purse. I was about to hurt someone. June 16, 2018. One day later. Well, Celeste didn't break a body part. Mom, on the other hand, really hurt her pinky saving Celeste. Falling off the couch. September 2016. Celeste would have been, let's see, she was born in July of 2015. So she would have been 14 months old. Her first dentist visit brought on early from her busting her mouth yesterday. I see many of these accidents. That doesn't make sense. I see many of these accidents visits in the future. Hashtag accident prone. If you walked into your baby's room and this is what you saw, what would your first reaction be? Do you really believe that this is how the baby liked to sleep? In this photo, little Cece is showing her daddy the bruises that are on top of her wrist. I'm not sure how you get bruises on top of your wrist. Here's a picture from the video that is so disturbing to so many of us as we started digging into the details of this case. This is when she was dousing poor little Bella right in the eyes with water over and over again. And when Christopher Watts opened the door so Bella could run inside, his wife said, "Don't you save her." And he didn't. And then she went on to laugh and say, "This is why we had kids." December of 2016. This is an interesting time frame because this was when both of the little girls were very ill. I think it was about a week after this post that both girls ended up having to be at the hospital. And remember, shortly after that hospital visit, both girls started daycare full-time, 5 days a week, which I think that timing is just very interesting. Also, when her maid of honor stopped messaging her or commenting or whatever, and it appears from the social media activity anyway that they were no longer friends. So I think that's very interesting. That's also around the same time I think that she was saying she was working 90% of her job from home. And I'm sorry, I don't believe it. I just don't. We've seen so many inconsistencies with her claims already that I just don't believe at all that the hospital was allowing her to do 90% of her job from home. Her job was to answer the phone for the hospital, right? How does that work exactly? Sorry, 90% of her job from home, it just seems ludicrous to me. If you have any information about that, opportunity to work from home 90% of the time, then please do let us know. Because we're curious, that's for sure. So this was 1 week before both girls ended up in the hospital or at the hospital, very ill. I think they had croup or something, which still makes me wonder about those nebulizers too and what she was putting in them. She says, "This kid is going to put me in the crazy house. From yesterday's scare to standing up on a rocking chair, she fell on the back of her head today and face first, tripping over her own feet. She fell on the back of her head today and face first, tripping over her own feet." Wow. This post is very disturbing. She says that her daughter actually was eating the contents of her diaper. Now remember, this mother claimed that she had the monitor with her at all times. So she must not have noticed, I guess, as her child took her clothes off, got into her diaper, got her diaper off evidently, and then sat there eating it. And the part that's also very disturbing, it looks like she thinks it's funny. This is the time where she said that she gave her milk to wash it down. Huh. Amazing. So you walk in the room and you see that your little girl's stuck in the toilet. And you think it's time to take a picture. Huh. I was washing lunch dishes and heard Mommy. Wait a minute, February 16, 2017. Weren't the kids in daycare 5 days a week? Hashtag she pooped. What is this woman's affinity for poop? We see that theme throughout a lot of the comments. Remember, I think in, what was it, August or maybe July of 2018, I think it was August, she was saying that she hadn't pooped in 15 days. Right, that's believable. There are no words for this photo. There are no words. Take a look at who is over there to the left. There's little Bella. There's an adult. I'm thinking that's little Bella's mommy. If you take a look at those nails, I'm thinking I'm right. Now look at Cece. Covered up with wrapping paper and the blanket. September 2016. This would have been just a few months before that hospital visit when the girls were both so sick. Is it nap time yet? This kid has me on my toes, that's for sure. Busted her mouth, then continues to climb things. How many photos are there of this little girl trying to get a drink of water? This is the one I think from the video where she's actually crying and wanting her mommy to help her. May of 2017, so the girls were in daycare full time, 5 days a week. Remember their schedule. They were in daycare from something like 7 in the morning, maybe 7:30, but I think it was 7. 7 in the morning till what, 4:30 or so in the afternoon? And then their bedtime was 6 or 6:30. That leaves very little opportunity for these staged photos, don't you think? Or could it be that she was so thirsty that she was going to try to crawl up there and just somehow get some of that water from the faucet? I don't know. It sure seems to me that if you're only with your children for 2 hours a day that you'd be sure that they weren't thirsty. July of 2016, this was before that hospital stay, before the girls were both in daycare 5 days a week. She says, I see many hospital visits with this crazy monkey. Walking plus corner wall equals major egg. July 2016, literally getting ready to put her to bed and bang. June of 2017, so the girls were both in daycare full time, 5 days a week, right? And remember, she has a baby monitor that she keeps right with her all the time. So evidently she didn't notice when Celeste was taking off her clothes and trying to take off her diaper. And evidently Celeste was pretty bored, sitting in her crib, evidently for a long time. June of 2018, they asked for a nap time. This reminds me of the Darlie Routier case. Little Devin and Damon used to ask to be able to go ride their bikes. Sometimes for hours, out in the hot sun. January 2017, this would have been 1 month after the hospital stays, and I think right at the same time that the girls were starting daycare 5 days per week. Last night before we left, I fixed Cece. She was sleeping sitting up. So you come around the corner and you see your daughter head first heading down the stairs. What do? Do you grab your daughter? Make sure she's okay? Or do you take a picture? I wonder if she said, like, hold on, Cece, so I can get a picture. Hold on. Gotta get the picture. Gotta put it on Facebook. Say hi, Cece. This is how she woke up? Really? Or is this how she looked after crying and fussing? Maybe she was hungry or thirsty. I don't know anybody in their right mind who would walk in and see this and think it's a good time to take another picture. Or this either. Look at how her little hand is tightly clenched on that pillow. That baby isn't sleeping. Because if she was sleeping, her little hand would be relaxed. So why on earth was her mother trying to make this appear as if this is how she was sleeping? And how many times did these little girls pose for these pictures for their mom? Seriously, take a look at that little hand. That little hand is not the hand of a sleeping baby. That baby's awake, and she has a pillow on her face while her mom's taking her picture. Sorry, guys, but this is downright weird. March of 2015, she loves watching her sleep. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking that most moms would have moved the baby, turned the baby around a little bit, made sure the baby didn't have her face right into the bumper pad or have her head right up against the edge of the crib. When you see this much movement in the crib, you lay your baby down, especially if your baby's sleeping when you lay her down. But when you lay your baby down for nap time, well, that's what they call it, nap time. I don't know if, 12 hours or 13 hours a night plus a 3-hour nap constitutes anything close to being a nap time. That was one of the first alarming details of this case when I found out that she was putting the kids to bed at 6 or 6:30 and expecting them to sleep right through the night for 12 or 13 hours straight, and then claiming that they were trained to take 3-hour naps. Like, yeah, okay. They say that babies grow taller when they're sleeping. These girls should have been like 10 feet tall already with as much time as they spent sleeping. Anyway, what this tells me when you see all these pictures of babies in all these strange positions in their crib is that they spent a lot of time fussing in their cribs. Here's a photo when the girls were both in the hospital. It looks like poor little Bella is actually trying to smile for the camera, but it doesn't look like her eyes are smiling at all. And here's a photo that's been discussed a lot lately in the discussion groups for two reasons. Well, actually three. One, of course, is, the face down thing is kind of different. It's almost like she was posing the babies for these photos. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But people in the discussion groups who are actually discussing the cases, by the way, and yes, the groups are private and there are no shiners or trolls or whatever the names are for people attacking others. But the people who are actually discussing this case and details like this photo, they're saying that the way that the back of her head is bald like that, that's a sign of a baby who's left in the crib for hours and hours and hours. Because it basically wears off that hair. And they're also most alarmed, actually, by what they call the scorched feet. What on earth is going on that this little baby's feet are so bright red? So what'd you think of that one, you guys? I'd like to point out that the live chat that we were talking about earlier, I think a few of us were over there, that all of those people up on the panel and all of those people commenting in the comment threads, especially the other channel creators, the one especially who thought it was cool to use my name in his comment, were nowhere to be found when that photo op video was made. All of them jumped on board late in the game, and they try to act like they know something about the case, when in fact they spend a whole lot of time talking about everything but the case. Hey guys, sorry about that. I'm looking for the one of the avocado having a meltdown. No, I didn't get a phone call. I'm just searching through my stuff. I think it's in one of those little thumb thingies. And I'm trying to think which thumb thingy it's in. You know, the one who's running around trying to pretend like she's never said or done anything wrong. I have a lot of thumb thingies. I'll find that one for a later one. That's the one where she's saying, I'm coming for you, Mensa. Yeah, that's a good thing, Sandy. I should look for that one. That'd be a funny one. That was a good video, wasn't it? That's what I'll do. Let's see. Um, how would I find that? Um, 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 um. I'll figure it out. I don't know. Not tonight, though. I'm tired. Sandy wants to know who the avocado is, but we don't tell, do we? She's the one that said, I'm coming for you, Mensa. I am tired, Susie. I was listening to the frauds over there with their misuse of the word mediator. And I thought, oh, hokey Pete, here they go again. I have a long list of stuff to do tomorrow, too. I should probably say goodnight to you guys. Or if you want, I'll just go to bed and you guys can keep talking. Because you guys seem to get along really well. I like that the other day when I ran up to get some coffee to take my dog for his little ride. Oh, exactly, Robin. Tomorrow is already here, isn't it? Alrighty, you're right, Susie. I am tired. And now that you say that, I'm kind of doing a stretch thing here. Let's go ahead and say goodnight, and we will probably get together again. I think, ooh, let's see. I'll try tomorrow because Sunday I'm going to be pretty busy. But if I don't have time tomorrow, then I'll try to make it a point to hop on Sunday for a little bit. So let's go ahead and say goodnight, John Boy. Good night, Mary Ellen. Good night, Grandma. I'll try for tomorrow, you guys. I'll try. Here we go. Good night, John Boy. And everybody, I want you to be safe, be happy, be healthy, and know that you are loved. Good night, everyone. Oh, and before I go, please, if you hear any of the people on Watts Island using the word mediator. Don't fall for it. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Good night.